Hey guys, I really wanted to touch up on something that was kind of bothering me that I've seen online. It's about suicide, so a bit of a trigger warning. Recently, a rapper that goes by the name 600 Breezy had posted about his girlfriend who committed suicide. His girlfriend's name is Raven K. Jackson. She was a fitness model. She graduated from uni as a biomedical student. They had been together since 2020, I believe. And it's just a heartbreaking story, really. But the thing about it is that I feel heartbroken to the extent of I understand 100% where she was coming from. And I kind of feel like maybe she's at peace. But I also understand that we need to somehow help people when they feel like death is the only way out, because there's definitely ways that we can get through life, because death is the ultimate outcome anyway. So if we can make while we're here a lot easier, I feel like we should be able to do that. And I feel like these discussions are very important. We need to understand when people are going through things, what signs to look for. Not always just throwing things down to attention seeking, because sometimes people are really just asking for help. You have to ask why people are attention seeking. You have to ask, what's making you attention seek? What do you need the attention for? Are you crying for help? Do you need someone to talk to? Are you in pain? What's the reason? So 600 Breezy had posted on his Instagram, I believe, a few text messages, which I will show. She'd said things like she'd been in pain for a long time, and that even when she was happy, that, you know, she was still feeling it, and she'd put on a front, basically. And I think a lot of people that suffer from depression definitely put on fronts. They definitely carry a guilt with them, because they know that the thoughts that they're having, people will say that it's quite selfish. And to an extent, yes, suicide on one side can be a selfish thing, because you're not thinking about the people on the other side. But also when you're going through things, it's not what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about, if anything, you're thinking, I don't want to be a burden on people anymore. So I want to, you know. So we need to know how to look for signs on how to help the people around us, help the people maybe online, like just help each other, because this is a very hard place, a very hard world, and there's a lot of people in pain, there's a lot of people struggling. There's a way that we can get through to them, let them know that they're not alone, they don't need to feel like death is their only way out, and we don't need to judge and tell people that they're selfish and things like that. We need to change certain stigmas, the way we talk to people, how they're dealing with mental health. And a lot of times, mental health is not looked at as a disability or a condition, or like something's wrong. So you'll be like, I'm depressed, I can't get out of bed. Just get up. Like, no, physically can't get out of bed. Physically can't do it. Want to, but can't. A lot of people don't understand these things. So where do we start? I myself, throughout the years, maybe from childhood up until maybe last year, was struggling with severe depression, in and out, suicidal ideals, self-harm, things like that. And I've now come into a place where finally my depression has lifted, hopefully for a very long time. Hopefully it doesn't come back ever, but my depression is lifted, the cloud is gone. I can now see things and do things that I wasn't capable of doing over the years. So I could really relate to them text messages that I saw, and it really broke my heart. It even brought more than a tear to my eye. It kind of broke me. It's a really sad outcome. And at the same time, it's like, I understand. So I feel like she's at peace. Knowing that you care and love someone, and there's probably nothing that you could have done different because what goes on in someone's head is in their head, and you can be there for someone, you can try and distract them, you can try and do as much as you can, but ultimately you're never going to be in that person's head, and there's only so much that you can do to help. So we need to try and find a way to support each other, especially when the people that are left behind when someone ends up taking their own life, because I don't know how you come back from that. You will always, even though everyone else knows it's not your fault, you will always carry that guilt that ultimately is not yours to carry. But I feel like that is such a natural reaction that you would have. I feel like as times get harder, there will be a lot more people feeling depressed, having suicidal ideals. So we need to look for ways on how to, I wouldn't say avoid, because if they come, they come, but how to deal. We need to look for ways of how to deal. And I'd like to run through a little bit of my experience, plus whatever else I can try and help with. I found for me that what did end up helping was, and I didn't know, was not the medications and not the doctors, but ultimately I tried to take control by, I started meditating and doing yoga, and that opened a new door for me. Obviously what helps me might not work for someone else. Certain things like lifestyle changes, if you're putting a lot of toxic stuff in your body, that can make a big impact on how your brain is functioning, down to food, down to alcohol, just lack of exercise. All these things are a big detriment to your mental. So when we're dealing with a lot of stress on a day-to-day, or we're just naturally depressed, we need to find a way to make little subtle changes to help in the long run. Ultimately, no one's ready to change their life unless they're ready to change their life. I also want to discuss that I don't know if it's just me, but reading the text messages made me think that maybe it's not just me that is out here and just their soul doesn't feel like they belong here. I always thought that was like maybe my depression or whatever else, but maybe it's making me consider that maybe it's not depression. Maybe that's just genuinely how my soul thinks, and it's just, I just don't feel like I belong here. But at the same time, I'm not suicidal, I'm not going to do anything stupid, I just don't feel like I belong. And maybe death to some people is where they find their peace. And obviously it's unfair to others, but what makes someone else happy might be unfair to others. Defo not encouraging anyone to take their life at all. Like, that is far from it. I'm literally just going off of my own thoughts, feelings and experiences, and just kind of like making sense of it all. It's a tough one. This is a hard video for me to make. It's quite close. It's quite close to my heart. And I want to wish anyone that's lost anyone by suicide, like, I wish you all the strength to like carry on and know that nothing you could have done would have changed anything. And if anything, you probably carried that person to live a little longer and feel just an ounce of normality and love and whatever else. But ultimately, it will always be the bigger picture to that person, because they don't want to feel like maybe a burden on you, or I don't know. Many people think many different ways. I talk for myself. But ultimately, if we can take anything away from this video, it's 100% that we just need to be more aware of people around us, aware of our own emotions, because sometimes we don't even know when we're battling with things ourselves, but we're maybe feeling a bit different. Just making sure we're talking to people, doing things for our own happiness, not sacrificing our own happiness, and just sticking together. I will put in the box below a couple links to some helplines that could help if you need to talk to anyone, if you need to reach out to anyone. My inbox is always open if you ever need to relate or talk to, or any confidential stuff, like, I'm here. Just felt like this was something I really had to do. This was a touching one, I can't lie. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like, please share. I really hope that I could help someone today. I know I didn't say a lot, but this helped me in some type of way. Yeah, guys, just look out for one another, and if you're going through things, don't be embarrassed, don't feel alone. There are people definitely out here that can relate and have probably definitely been through it and can tell you that it will eventually get better. It will. I'm still here. Make sure that you're back soon.
Bye. Peace.